Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Ever go about your day and suddenly you hit that point? There's no need to feel stretched so thin, fatigued, or struggling just to get through the day. Now you've got Kinetic. Zero sugar, zero caffeine, ketone kick in the pep you need.
Buckle up, buttercups, because our bottom line is bursting with brilliance. Profits are positively polarizing projects. Yeah!
Your brain is about 2% of your body weight, but it demands 20% of your energy. Caffeine blocks sleep receptors in your brain, but it doesn't fuel you. So when it wears off, you crash. Kinetic doesn't trick your brain, it fuels your brain with ketones, the powerhouse of metabolic energy. Recent studies show that your brain prefers ketones over glucose.
Watch this real scan as brain activity increases by 18% after drinking Kinetic.
Ketones, don't those taste like shit? Kinetic is science forward and flavor first by using natural flavors to fit into your flavorful life.
You just said flavors a lot.
Yeah, because there's a lot of flavor with pineapple passion fruit, blackberry lemonade, and strawberry peach.
Wow, blackberry lemonade. That's some good
Tastes good and good for you. You can get your ketones from the keto diet, but that takes time and isn't for everyone.
Is it hot in here, or is it just meat?
Kinetic has all the ketones of the keto diet without the meat sweats. Kinetic isn't a temporary fix because ketones help you build metabolic energy for the long haul while reducing oxidative stress and inflammation. Kinetic creates momentum in your life, one sip at a time. Whether you're powering your pre-workout, fueling your focus, or creating mental clarity. Let Kinetic speak for itself. Users and the scientific community agree.
That's good. It's more like a fruity flavor.
Delicious, refreshing.
I have finally found the solution for long-lasting energy and sharper focus.
And definitely has all the benefits of something that I would want as a cyclist, road rider, mountain biker, as a mom.
I drink this on a daily basis.
Go to drinkkinetic.com and put your mind over what matters today.
We're live here tonight for a special race in the Misfit Racing League. Tonight, it's the Kinetic 250. We're here for 250 laps tonight around Five Flags Speedway in the late model stocks, and we'll have the whole race live here tonight on V-Speed. I'm Sky Shrek. I'm joined up here in the booth tonight by Bradley Cooper, and we have a full field of over 35 cars getting ready to roll at Five Flags. Bradley, tell us a little bit about this track and why the late models are so iconic here.
Well, you can go back to the Snowball Derby if you really want to look at how these drivers performed the last time they were here, and it's a mix of different leagues. We go through a different series there with the Summer Series as my track graphic tries to load here. We got it now. Opened May 31st, 1953, and originally starting out as a variant of a dirt track. They paved it, they've changed it, but the Snowball Derby brings one of the biggest crowds that you'll ever see in Pensacola, Florida. just a half-mile oval with 5 degrees to banking pretty much all the way around this place. You're continuously turning left for 250 laps tonight. It's going to be crazy.
Yeah, half a mile racetrack, like you said. This is a true short track. It's a classic one as well. One that is really, really famous in these late model stock cars. And I think we're going to really enjoy this here tonight. We've got some heat races coming up here before too long. The format for tonight is we are going to have qualifying right now. That is wrapping up. Following up qualifying, we are going to go to 3 heat races. They should be 10 laps apiece, and then we will go to a 12-lap consolation here before the main show kicks off tonight. And we are very excited for this race at Five Flags. As mentioned, the main event will be 250 laps, 2 tire sets available, no faster pairs, and full fuel with an iRacing fixed setup. We've got a bit of an interview here lined up. We're actually going to bring into the booth here Lawrence from Kinetic. How are you doing? Lawrence, you got me.
Am I in?
Yeah, you're up here. What's up?
Take it in?
We got you up here in the booth. Okay, so for the people at home who don't know, can you tell us a little bit about Kinetic Energy?
Of course. So Kinetic is some next level stuff. So we like to call ourselves a performance drink and not an energy drink because we got no caffeine, we got no sugar. So it's not new stuff, but it's new stuff to the people.
All right, how excited are you about this collaboration you've got going here for this race with the Misfit Racing League?
I'm hyped. It's gonna be fun to break into space, and I think sorry, it's an ambulance. I think this is a really cool way to do it. A lot going on.
For the people who are maybe looking to purchase some Kinetic, where can they do that, and why might they purchase it?
Best place is definitely drinkkinetic.com. We got a few discount codes right now. I know the TikTok shop is a hot spot, but yeah, those are probably the two best spots.
We also have a link down in the description of this video to take you to drinkkinetic.com, and you can sign up there for their email program with special offers. That's all down in the video description.
Nailed it.
We got that as well. All right, thank you so much for joining us up here in the booth, Lawrence. I hope you enjoyed the show here tonight.
Of course, I definitely will. Good luck to everybody.
So you ready to start this thing up or what? We've got 4 heats here in a full field, and it's going to be pretty epic, I think.
Oh, we are going to have a great show here tonight. Top 12 cars from qualifying went straight into the main event here tonight. So once we get these drivers gridded up and ready to go for tonight's race, we're going to have a pretty good one. We are doing a bit of a driver's meeting right now, I believe. Kind of some last-minute preparations here for a lot of these drivers. Get them ready for the race, get them to know everything they need to know, and then we should be out here for our first heat race of the night shortly. Your lineup for our heat race number 1, you can see it there on the left. It's going to be the 015 of Deegan Smith going from pole. JJ McCrae goes from second in the 078. Tanner Berge goes from 3rd in the 35 with Dylan Calabro rolling off 4th in the 14. It's John Leday in the 022 from 5th. Justin Mullican in the 51 from 6th. Donald Castillo in the 37 from 7th. And then Kyle Adams there is going to be your race control and honorary pace car tonight. I do not believe he is going to be taking the green flag for this heat. So it'll be 7 cars. Top 4 advance to the feature. The remaining 3 will work through the consolation. Now your top 12 cars from qualifying have gone straight to the feature tonight. You won't see them in any of the heat races. Those cars are Alex McCollum in the 34, Kyle Terzak in the 15, Tanner Bethea in the 20, Jacob Harberts in the 80, Justin Crone in the 86, Shane Hodges in the 10, Wiley Duncan in the 97, Blake Kronberg in the 3, Hudson Barrett in the 94, Christian Peterson in the 71, Ethan Wolf in the 112, and Keith Jeffrey in the 88. Those drivers, flash through them on the screen right here, are the 12 drivers that have automatically advanced through the heat races into our feature tonight based off qualifying position. It looks like we are getting ready now to go for our first heat race of the night. And starting up front in that heat race is going to be Deegan Smith in the 15 car. And I think once they get settled in here and they get ready to go, we'll bring Deegan Smith up into the booth for an interview while we hit that pace lap. Looks like everybody has taken to the track here, so we're going to bring in just a second. Deegan Smith up to the booth to get an interview here for the start of this race. How you doing, Deegan?
Good, how are you?
Starting on pole of the first heat race tonight, you think you're going to keep it there and advance to the feature?
I hope so. I joined in practice with about 20 minutes of practice. Haven't read the race set or the LCQ set, so I'm kind of just going in here.
All right, what's your strategy for the main event tonight? Just break through to the front?
Save as much as I can, slowly work my way through, hopefully be up there at the end.
All right, thanks so much for talking with us, Deegan. We'll get you sent back down to your team.
Thank you.
We're getting ready to roll here tonight. We'll see. I believe we'll have one more lap around under the pace car here tonight. How are you feeling, Bradley? What are you thinking heading into tonight's race?
I think it's going to be organized chaos. There's so much going on. We got to sort everything out through heats. There's a last chance qualifier with 12 laps. The guys that couldn't make it in, you got one shot to punch that ticket. And then it's 250 laps, Sky. It's an endurance race. It kind of borders what we do with the bigger ovals and the distance traveled. You're going to have to pace yourself. It's not a sprint. It's going to be a matter of saving your tires and keeping your wit about you. A chess match at this half-mile oval.
For sure, the pace car is going to make that move down into pit road this time around, and we will get ready to roll for the first heat race of the Kinetic 250. It's Deegan Smith to the green flag for 10 laps in heat race number 1. Good start for him. Berge is going to come through on the inside, followed by John Leday as your second place starter. JJ McRae starts to slide backwards.
It's already a shuffle for around the third position. They're almost 3 wide there for a moment. They're going to peak again. That's Castillo just behind at the tail end of this field. 5th position now, moving up on the move in a short amount of time. Started at the back and now up 2 spots.
Top 4 are going to advance to the main event tonight. The remaining 3 will go to a consolation. So Donald Castillo in that 37 car has a lot of motivation to go up there and snag 4th away from JJ McRae and get himself into position. We're side by side, working off the corner for 6th, and a bit of a loose moment there for that 71 car of Justin Mulliken as he sits on the inside of the 14 of Dylan Calabro. That battle not settled yet as these two stay side by side. Lap 4 out of 10, coming up to 6 to go in heat race number 1.
Going to continue to intensify. We're halfway now, and the 15 of Deegan Smith has just checked out. We're looking at over half a second now. And Tanner Berge just on the fringe here of John Leday. And JJ McRae holding on to that advancement spot.
He would very much like to get that spot here and not have to deal with that LCQ tonight. I believe we're only going to see 2 drivers make the main event from that last chance qualifier, so you want to do anything you can to keep yourself in the feature here tonight. Like Justin Mulliken, who's trying to peek up the inside of that 5th place car at Castillo. Doesn't have it there. Might need a little more to make a run because Castillo is still threatening JJ McRae for that 4th position. All on the line for the final transfer spot, and it's a big slide up the inside for Mulliken.
They almost made some contact there, but you almost have to move somebody out of the way. He's going to push him up the racetrack. Mulligan's going to advance that spot, but only 2 laps to go. Deegan Smith in another time zone. Tanner Berge side by side for second. Hopefully the 22 of Leday will cut him a break. These guys just want to qualify in. White flag.
Yeah, that battle right there is for starting position in the main event here tonight. Deegan Smith lights to flag, looking like he is going to take this one home up in that first position. The battle is still not done for second or fourth at the moment. It's a lunge from Mulligan, but he doesn't have enough, and coming out of 4, Deegan Smith wins heat race number 1. Transferring to the main event, it's going to be John Leday, Tanner Berge, and J.J. McRae. First through 4th, Justin Mulligan, Donald Castillo are going to have to go through the LCQ along with Dylan Calabro in the 14.
Well,
heat race 2. Yeah.
I tried to get it up as fast as I could. These sessions just come so quickly.
Heat race 2 is going to get lined up here on the racetrack. On pole position for this one, it's going to be that 22 car of Brian Gravel. On the inside of the 28 of Carter Levi. Going from P3 is going to be the 2 car of Winston Deal. Jake Sylvia in the 171 goes from 4th. Brandon Elvis will roll off from P5 in this heat. Matt Borndan is going to go from 6th. Dakota Walls from 7th. Tommy Lemley in the 29 car will go from 8th. And we are going to bring up into the booth here for just a quick interview before we get going the 022 car of Brian Gravel starting out in front of this heat. How's it going, Brian?
Going all right. Just about to see what happens.
Yeah, what's the strategy here? Just try to hold the lead, make sure you get that transfer spot?
Yes, sir. That's going to be the plan. We're going to go out here and try to just get out front. I kind of want to try to get a gap, just kind of figure it out a little bit more. Kind of a heartbreaker. I didn't make it on time, but we're going to come out here and learn during this heat race and see what we can do come race time and just see where we end up tonight.
Yeah, as mentioned, you missed that main event by about 0.02 of a second. We'll let you get down to the race. Good luck tonight, Brian.
Thank you.
That was Brian Gravel. Pace car will pull in, and he will immediately take the jump here on the green flag. Lights are out. Door to door here, no one's really getting an advantage. Carter Levi about a half a nose ahead, looking down into turn 1, but the inside lane is the fast lane on this racetrack, and Brian Gravel has it back down into 3 and 4.
A lot more competitive than the initial start we saw in the last one. It was pretty much the 0-15 checking out right out the gate in the whole shot. But now, side by side continues from second back to around the 4th, 5th position. You got Jake Sylvia, one of the favorites, and offset 3 wide there with the 1 of Dakota Walls. Oh,
this is going to be a tight battle. Yeah, we got 3 wide and we're 2 wide in front of him. Nothing is set.
Track is narrow, Sky. I know that actually I lost your connection on the microphone there for just a second, Sky, but I know that this racetrack doesn't really promote 3 wide racing, and it doesn't really promote being on the inside of the exit. They're going to do it again.
They are going to do it again there as we roll off a turn.
Spot.
Yeah, it is. We roll off a turn 4. You've got that 0 car of Borndran trying to make it work, trying to get himself up to 5th so he can try to challenge that 2 car up there of Winston Deal for the last transfer spot. But right now, Jake Sylvia looks like he has the speed advantage in that 171 car. Halfway through this heat race, can the 171 get up to the 2? Let's find out.
And all that racing side by side, these guys fighting amongst themselves from 5th on back, allowed Winston Deal to just kind of pull away. We're looking at half a second in the top 4. I'm sure are really content with just running single file for these next 4 laps.
I'm sure they will be, but Jake Sylvia is going to do all he can to not have to go through this LCQ. As mentioned, 26 car field tonight. We're taking 24 from quali in the heats. Only 2 drivers are going to get through that LCQ, so you are absolutely going to have the best chance of getting through in this heat. Although right now it's single file, and with 2 to go, Sylvia is looking about half a second back. I think he'll need a mistake out of that 2 car if he wants to get up there.
Brian Gravel's going to take the white flag. perfect scenario, and I think with the 250 it's going to be a little bit different. But for this heat race, going to lock in the top 4, looking good all the way back to Winston Deal with half a second. And off of turn 4 for the final time, Ryan Gravel, Carter Levi, Brandon Elvis, and Winston Deal are going to lock in to the feature.
And having to go to that LCQ tonight is going to be the 171 of Jake Sylvia, the 00 of Matt Vorndran, the 1 of Dakota Walls, and the 29 of Tommy Lemley. Not able to make it through to the feature tonight. It's going to be another 7-car lineup for heat race number 3. On pole in the 01 is Tanner Thomas. In second in the 33 is Dustin Smith. Aiden Greats goes from 3rd in the 27th. Palmer Haig goes from 4th in the 55. Jace Hale, 5th in the 9. Thomas Dean, 6th in the 81. And Aaron Johnson, one to watch, rolls off 7th in the 77. See if he actually takes the green flag here. He has not hit the racetrack, so we will see what the move is for that Aaron Johnson car if he's able to make it out for the field tonight. If not, we will have 6 cars in this heat race. We will see as we get
I think
gridded
we're
up
working
here.
on it. I think Aaron Johnson, maybe they're going to delay the grid a little bit here to maybe get the 77 in. Have to wait and see. Tanner Thomas, though, I see cars kind of blinking and coming back to the grid. Nope, they're going to roll.
Yeah, we're going to roll. That was the 9 car of Jace Hale having maybe a bit of connection issues back there. We're going to interview pole position here for the heat race in just a second. That'll be the 01 car of Tanner Thomas. Tanner, how are you doing?
I don't know yet. Didn't qualify what I wanted, but we'll see.
Hey, you're going to be on pole of this heat race. 6 cars out there. Top 4 make it to the feature. Are you going to be going all out to try to hold this lead, or are you just looking to advance?
Yes, I'm looking to advance and hopefully lead this whole thing. We'll see, though.
All right, heading into the feature tonight, what's going to be your strategy to survive 250 laps at Five Flags?
You said it in what you asked. Survive is probably the best bet here.
All right, thanks so much for talking to us. We'll send you back to your team. Good luck tonight.
Thank you, sir.
That was Tanner Thomas, your pole sitter there in that 01 car. He'll be rolling off on the inside, and it'll be Dustin Smith in the 33 up on that high line tonight. Aaron Johnson, a scratch from this heat race, so we're going to have 6 cars coming to your green flag. It'll drop, and we are off in heat race number 3, the Kinetic 250.
Having a connection issue there with Tanner Thomas, and I hope that doesn't interfere with possibly making it in to the feature. You know, if you lose connection here and completely back out of the session, you're going to have that LCQ to get in. I know he's probably shouting right now at everybody that's on the Wi-Fi. Get off of Netflix right now.
Internet issues can't haunt you. He's not the only car in the field we've seen have those issues. Jace Hale in the 9 has been dealing with some connection struggles as well, as now he's side by side for that final transfer position. It's Palmer Haig in the 55, trying to get it as the 9 blinks out and comes back in on the nose of the 81 of Thomas Dean. They save it, but they're both slow, and that might be what the 55 needs to make it through to the feature here tonight.
RTs.com instant replay, and then you're going to see it right here. Reappears right across the nose. And for Thomas Dean, that's no fault of his own. He has no clue where that car is.
No, that's just a connection issue there for the 9 of Jace Hale. Thomas Dean, kind of an unfortunate bystander in the issues of that 9 car so far here tonight. We'll be halfway through the heat race. 5 to go as we come to the line this time. And you can see working the wheel is that 9 car of Jace Hale. Seems to have his connection pretty stable at the moment, but he's going to have a long way to go in this LCQ tonight because he might start at the back of it.
Yeah, it's unfortunate there with the connection issue, but we've seen it before, Sky. It's not the first time here on VSpeed that a car's come into a session, blinked out, blinked in, and We're going to battle for the lead. I know it doesn't so much matter. It's going to kind of matter for the feature and where you're positioning and all that, but right now it's just a matter of, are you content with this top 4? And these guys are not.
It's 3 more spots here in the main event, depending on where you end up finishing this heat race. So if that 33 car of Dustin Smith is able to get up there and is able to take the position away from the 01 of Tanner Thomas, then it looks like he might be able to do it here. He would get up 3 positions here in the main event. I believe he would roll off 15th in the feature as opposed to 18th tonight. So a little bit of qualifying positions on the line there, and as Tanner Thomas blinks out of the session, Dustin Smith will take the white flag here in Heat 3. About 10 seconds to go for that 33 car. Can he keep holding off the 01? He's in the fence there off of 2. That's going to give the 1 a shot down here to the inside, but he's not close enough. Dustin Smith wins Heat 3 here at Five Flags. Tanner Thomas, Palmer Haig, and Aiden Grace are going to advance straight through to the feature tonight. And it'll be Jace Hale and the 81 car of Thomas Dean working through our Consolation race.
I want to apologize. We had audio for some reason from Jace Hale there. Not exactly sure what the issue was with our link here tonight, but you obviously could tell not very happy.
We are going to get right into the LCQ here. It was 10 laps in the main event. It'll be 12 laps here in this Consolation race. We'll get that starting lineup for you here shortly. 2 cars are going to advance, and we have 11 on the grid for this race. Justin Mulliken in the 51 goes from the front row next to the 171 of Jake Sylvia. The 9 of Jace Hale goes from 3rd. Dylan Calabro in the 14 is going off in 4th. Matt Vorndran in the 00 rolls from P5. Thomas Dean in the 81 will go from 6th. Donald Castillo in the 37 starts from 7th. Dakota Walls in the 1 goes from 8th. Aaron Johnson, is he in the field? No. Looks like Aaron Johnson will be a scratch here tonight. Kyle Adams also a scratch. He is our race control. Tommy Lemley will roll off at the back of the field in P11 for our LCQ.
Put that up to P9 there for Lemley. But Mulliken right now probably dreading this. I know with the 51 machine it was looking like, hey, we got a good shot at it. And especially there in Heat 1, I thought Mulliken was going to get up there and snag away that spot at the very end, but ended up losing that momentum. And again, this goes back to, we're going to have to learn to pace ourselves for this long event at 250 laps. But you go with this short heat like this, it's a completely different ball game. And I think these guys may be learning to drive the track the wrong way. It's hopefully they can relearn later on.
Yeah, it is going to be very different here in the heats and the Consolation compared to the main event. With only 10 or 12 laps on the schedule, you have to get up to the front, especially here in this LCQ. If you're not in the top 2, you're not racing tonight. So you need to move your way up to that front row fast, and it's going to be a whole different strategy for the main event tonight when you have 250 laps to save your stuff for. Front row, 2 cars who are looking to hold their positions, Justin Mulliken and Jake Sylvia. We're green here in the LCQ from Five Flags, and it's an even jump there on the front row. Can Mulliken get cleared down into 1 and 2? No. Huge run for Jake Sylvia to take the lead on the top.
That's the first time we've seen that on an initial start. Outside line through 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and it's enough to clear, take over that top position. Execution for these next 12 laps from Sylvia.
This battle for second is going to be one to watch here because it's Justin Mulliken, but he's under threat from the 14 of Dylan Calabro. This is the battle to make the feature here tonight. Mulliken has that run at the moment, but Calabro is there, and he is getting closer and closer, peeking further and further up the inside of that 51 car, and they'll go side by side on exit here. We saw the top work for Sylvia. Will it work for Mulliken? We take lap 4, and it looks like Calabro has it at the line.
Watching back there with Jace Hale, the connection issues continue, and just blink off the hood there for just a moment. Now side by side, an all-white machine. I can't quite tell who it is, but they are bad sideways. I think that's Tommy Lemley in the 29.
That is Tommy Lemley in that all-white car. Calibro's got the move for second, but we're side by side as well for P3. Matt Vorndran and Justin Milliken are going to go at it. Jace Hale retires from the session here tonight with those internet issues. The 51 is looking high. The 00 tries to steal third on the bottom, but he's loose down there, and that'll hurt his run off the corner. He needs to get around this 51 car quick if he wants to have any hope of catching back up to Dylan Calibro to make the main event here tonight. Right now, halfway through the B main, Jake Sylvia and Dylan Calibro are in position to advance.
A little bit longer this time, so the pace is probably slightly slower, but I think these guys are just sending it right now. But Sylvia pull out on the start of the race. How many times have we seen? We saw those 3 heats where everyone on the inside was pretty much favored to take the lead right out the gate. And Sylvia just cracks that egg and says, I'm going to show you guys how it's done. Takes over the top position, hasn't looked back since.
We know Jake Sylvia is always a threat here in the Misfit Racing League in these late model stocks. He's proven himself to be a good driver, and that's why it was a bit surprising that he had to run from the B main in the first place. But he's showing that he belongs in that feature here tonight, because with only 3 laps to go, he's got that gap at a second. Right now, the battle is going to be for the final transfer spot. Justin Mulligan slowly reeling back in Dylan Calibro in the 14. We'll see if he can get him here. The gap is certainly shrinking. Went down about 0.07 of a second both of the last 2 laps, which doesn't sound like much, but when you're only 1/10 off, that can mean the world. White flag, Jake Sylvia, and he will come around 1 to go to win the B main and advance to the main event tonight. Will Mulligan try something here on Calibro? Doesn't look like he has anything for him. Coming out of turn 4, Jake Sylvia wins the B main. Dylan Calibro advances to the feature here tonight. And your next 7 cars are going home. You see them there. Justin Milliken, Matt Vorndran, Donald Castillo, Dakota Walls, Tommy Lemley, Thomas Dean, and Jace Hale will not be running in your main event tonight. Aaron Johnson and Kyle Adams, as mentioned, both scratches for tonight's race. We are going to have a 5-minute warm-up session here, and then we will get ready for our main event here tonight.
We're going to take a quick break while we wait for these drivers to get that warm-up in, and we'll come back here after we get all of this cycled out. Driver introductions and the national anthem. You are watching the Kinetic 250 live on V-Speed. More coverage. The Sky Shrek and Bradley Cooper right after this.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Ever go about your day and suddenly you hit that There's no need to feel stretched so thin, fatigued, or struggling just to get through the day. Now you've got Kinetic. Zero sugar, zero caffeine, ketone kick, and the pep you need.
Buckle up, buttercups, because our bottom line is bursting with brilliance. Profits are positively pulverizing projects. Yeah!
Your brain is about 2% of your body weight, but it demands 20% of your energy. Caffeine blocks sleep receptors in your brain, but it doesn't fuel you. So when it wears off, you crash. Kinetic doesn't trick your brain, it fuels your brain with ketones, the powerhouse of metabolic energy. Recent studies show that your brain prefers ketones over glucose.
Watch this real scan as brain activity increases by 18% after drinking Kinetic.
Ketones, don't those taste like shit?
Kinetic is science forward and flavor first by using natural flavors to fit into your flavorful life.
You just said flavors a lot.
Yeah, because there's a lot of flavor with pineapple passion fruit, blackberry lemonade, and strawberry peach.
Wow, blackberry lemonade. That's some good
Tastes good and good for you. You can get your ketones from the keto diet, but that takes time and isn't for everyone.
Is it hot in here or is it just meat?
Kinetic has all the ketones of the keto diet without the meat sweats. Kinetic isn't a temporary fix because ketones help you build metabolic energy for the long haul while reducing oxidative stress and inflammation. Kinetic creates momentum in your life, one sip at a time. Whether you're powering your pre-workout, fueling your focus, or creating mental clarity, let Kinetic speak for itself. Users and the scientific community agree.
That's good.
It's more like a fruity flavor.
Delicious, refreshing.
I have finally found the solution for long-lasting energy and sharper focus.
And definitely has all the benefits of something that I would want as a cyclist, road rider, mountain biker, as a mom.
I drink this on a daily basis.
Go to drinkkinetic.com and put your mind over what matters today.
We are back here for the Kinetic 250 at Five Flags Speedway. Here tonight, a special event from the Misfit Racing League. And we are going to get straight into driver introductions for tonight's race. We're going to roll them from the back to the front. So, for your driver introductions, starting in the 26th position after advancing through the Consolation race tonight, it's the 14 car of Dylan Calabro. Rolling off 25th, also from the B-Main in the 171, it's Jake Sylvia. Advancing through the heats tonight, 24th spot is going to be the 27 of Aiden Greats. The 23 of, in 23rd will be the 2 car of Winston Deal. And we've got a driver cam on him tonight, so we'll get to see some pretty cool in-car views from that too. In 22nd tonight, rolling off there is going to be the 078 of JJ McCrae. Going off from 21st will be the 55 of Palmer Hogg. And rolling off 20th tonight will be the 4 of Brandon Elvis. Bradley, you want to get the next couple?
I got it here. We got Brandon Elvis, and then we're going on to 19th position. It's Tanner Berge in the 35, 18th position. The 01 of Tanner Thomas. Beautiful car on that, beautiful paint on that car, starting back in 18th. Carter Levi in 17th position. Then John Leday in 16th spot in the 022. Dustin Smith will start in the 15th position. And then it's Brian Gravel who won his heat starting in 14th. Take it away.
Rolling off in 13th tonight will be that 015 car of Deegan Smith, and he will roll off in row 7. In row 6, it's going to be the 88 car of Keith Jeffrey going from 12th. The 112 of Ethan Wolf going from P11. Row 5 is going to be the 71 of Christian Peterson going from 10th, with the 94 of Hudson Barrett from P9. In row 4, we've got the 3 car of Blake Thronberg in 8th on the outside, the 97 of Riley Duncan from 7th on the inside. Row 3 tonight, in 6th, it's the 10 of Shane Hodges. He'll roll off next to 5th position, the 86 of Justin Crow. In row 2 tonight, rolling off 4th in the 80 car, it's Jacob Harberts next to the 20 of Tanner Bethay in 3rd. And on your front row, the driver who always dominates in the Misfit Racing League, especially in late model stocks, it's the 15 of Kyle Turzak. And on pole tonight for the Kinetic 250 in the 34 car, it's Alex McCollum. And he is going to try to bring it home from the pole position and take the win here tonight. We're getting ready to go here. The drivers will roll off, and we will have 2 pace laps around Five Flags before our race here for the Kinetic 250. Who is your pick to win, Bradley? Who are you looking at tonight?
Well, you said it there with Kyle Turzak. He has a lot of wins at Misfit and in the Summer Series and the Touring Series. The 15 car is my pick. I think it's so difficult to pass here. I'm going to go with the 15 of Kyle Turzak.
All right, you stole my pick, so I'm going to have to come up with a new one on the fly. How about the 86 of Justin Crow? That's a driver we tend to see up in the field a lot here in these Misfit Racing League races. He loves to finish top 5, top 3, has a couple victories. I think this would be a pretty big one to add to his resume if he's able to go 5th to 1st and get it done tonight. A little bit of race information for your race tonight at Five Flags. 250 laps here in the Kinetic 250. You have 2 tire sets available in the pits, 1 on the car. That makes 3 in total. No faster pairs, so you're going to want to keep it clean here tonight. 100% fuel load and an iRacing fixed setup here for this race. In addition, winner tonight takes home $250. 100 goes to 2nd place and 50 to 3rd. So you've got a little more incentive to bring it home here tonight. Pace car pulls off, and we are green in the Kinetic 250. Turzak, he's already looking for that lead as we work down into 3 and 4, getting side by side with that 1 car of Alex McCollum as they head through that set of corners. McCollum holds the lead for now. He gets clear of Turzak. He leads lap 1, and it looks like he'll stay single file to lead lap 2 as well.
Seeing some side by side already back here.
Oh, contact! A couple cars further back in the field, but they got it straightened out. Never mind, they didn't. Caution will fly. It's J.J. McCrae and Aiden Grates from the back of the field.
A lot of problems there in the back. It looks like the 78 is going to end up losing a lap, not able to get it back around. We'll take it on a drivertees.com instant replay. I mean, this went on, like you said, out of turn 2 for quite a while.
Yeah, this is right at the back of the field here. That 78 of J.J. McCrae and the 27 of Aiden Grates. It's off into 3. The 27 just sends it in a little too deep, gets into the bumper of that 78 car, turns both of them around. Doesn't look like either car will have too much damage, but they will both get EOLs and will roll off from the rear here. And as you said, it took a while for that 78 car to get turned back around. He will go a lap down here tonight.
So a little bit of a rough start here in the first initial laps. We got about 3 of them under green. It's Alex McCollum, Kyle Turzak. At the same place they started here in the 34, holding on to the lead. And your pick back there in the 86. Looks like Justin Crow has advanced quite a few positions already. Actually, I thought Justin Crow had advanced, but it looks like when they're single file, it looks a little bit better.
Yeah, he is going to still stay in 5th here where he started in tonight's race. Haven't really had any chances to get any big movers yet through the field, but there are a couple cars that gained some positions there in the opening laps. I'm looking at the 28 of Carter Levi, went +3, started 17th. He's up to 14th. He also got that 35 car, Tanner Berge. You see that 2 spots behind him there. Went 19 to 16. So a couple cars starting to make some moves here in the early stages of this race. And we'll see if they can get to the front later. You aren't saving as much as you maybe typically would in a Misfit Racing League race. I know we'd like to have only about 1 or 2 tire sets here for our regular league races, but tonight in the Kinetic 250, you've got 3 in total. So you've got a little more wiggle room here on the tire strategy. And we'll see how that works out for these drivers heading down to the end of the race. It'll be the same front row from where we started, and they'll roll off in the same position. That's Alex McCollum going from 1st, Kyle Turzak going from 2nd, and we're back green here at Five Flags.
Watching these cars thunder off like that at a half-mile racetrack is exciting, but look at the advantage for Turzak to the inside of McCollum. A little hiccup there out of 2 allowed that momentum, and the 15 is going to try to carry it into 1 and 2 and take it out.
Same thing he tried on that last restart, but it works a lot better for him this time around. New leader on lap 9 is going to be the 15 car of Kyle Turzak. He's clear of he's showing 1 on the car, 34 on the ticker. That's Alex McCollum in that black and white machine. Side by side a little further back. This is the battle for 4th. You've got Riley Duncan in the 97 on the top, trying to work around the 80 of Jacob Harberts down there on the inside lane. They'll roll side by side across the start-finish line. Duncan has the spot at the line. We're side by side about 3 rows deep here. You've got Justin Crow up on the top, as well as that 1-1-2 of Ethan Wolf.
And just with Shane Hodges, Ethan Wolf, you could go all the way back to Dustin Smith. They're side by side all the way through this field. I'm trying to find the best camera angle to show it all. How about this one?
There you go. We got that battle going for 3rd now as Riley Duncan continues to try to work his way up through the field. He's gotten clear of Harberts, and he is working right on that wall down the straightaway, trying to get around the 20 of Bethea and the 1 car there of Alex McCollum, and it looks like he'll get it done. Huge move on the top for Riley Duncan. He's using up his tires a little early in this run, but he's got quite a few positions to show for it.
Yeah, that went back to what I said at the start when we were doing those last chance qualifiers and those heat races. You're going to have to completely readjust your mentality. It's not 10 laps at a time now. It's 250. So if you approach this race the same way you did in those heat races, you're going to be used up before you even make it a quarter of the way through.
Yeah, you've got to make sure you save your stuff here so you are not out of tire by lap 50 or 60. You're going to be going at least 80 on these green flag runs on these tires, so you've got to make sure that you have enough for the end of the race. Still doing battle back here in the top 10. You've got that 86 of Justin Crow continuing to work high, but it hasn't worked for him in the same way that it did for the 97 of Riley Duncan. Well, that car has gotten clear up into 2nd and is trying to chase down Turzak up there in the lead. Crow still battling for 5th with Harberts. still working double file back here in this mid-pack. Got 3 cars still on the top. It's still Crow, it's still Ethan Wolf, and then you've got that 15 of Deegan Smith, who's trying to gain some spots a little further back there in 10th. We're going to go on board here with the 86 of Justin Crow, and you can see him work his way off of the corner, running that high line, getting a little loose there on exit. He's really got to manage it on that top line to keep the tires straight.
They peaked 3 wide there for just a moment. It was Thornburg that looked in there, and Thornburg, I think, wants this 3 wide to happen. I think that it would probably upset the 80, pinch him down. The 86 gets pushed out wide. They're going to look again. I think that 3 car wants to run this middle line.
Thronberg is definitely running a bit of a different line in comparison to that 80 car, and he's really starting to shove that 112 of Ethan Wolf up the racetrack on entry specifically. You can see how he's entering a lot higher than that 80 car, and the 10 back there of Shane Hodges running a very similar line in that black and white 10 car. Let's see how that develops over the course of the run, but I don't think the 112 of Ethan Wolf is going to be too happy about that line. For now, looks like the inside still has the speed, as you've got your top 4 cars, now your top 5 cars clear as Harberts has gotten around Crow, and we've got a lead change up at the front. You saw it there. Riley Duncan making quick work of Kyle Terzak. He's your new leader.
Yeah, that pass for the lead happened just a couple laps ago. We're just trying to take a look at it if we can rewind at the right amount. It's always a kind of a tedious little task here to back this race up. But we'll go up here to Duncan. That's actually just after he completed that pass, so we'll back it up just a little bit further. There you go. And going into 3, just to send to the inside. I think Terzak just kind of gave that position up.
Caution. We got caution further back in the field. Trying to see who this is for. We have everybody rolling at the present moment. We must have had 1 car around there. It was Palmer Haig in the 55 that brought out the yellow off of some contact with, it looks like, the 71 of Jake Sylvia. We'll take it back here, rolling off turn 4. This is going to be off turn 2. The accident occurs off of turn 4 here with the 55 of Palmer Haig. He's already a bit down the track there. He'll come up. He kind of gets into the door of Sylvia on entry, and then it's contact from behind with the 71 car of Christian Peterson back there. He gets it saved, but a little bit of damage on that car. Lucky it wasn't worse.
I think already kind of struggling with the handling coming off of 4 and then going into 1, trying to just, maybe a shallow entry to the corner to prevent that car from snapping loose again. And unfortunately there, car to the inside.
Yeah, and that'll be our second caution of the race tonight here on lap 27. Field will continue to limp around. There were a couple cars who did a pretty good job there to avoid getting into that. Brandon Elvis, Carter Levi, Aiden Grates all had a close shave but managed to make it out. We have 2 takers down at pit road. It's Palmer Haig and it's John Leday, both coming down, and it looks like message from race control is going to be EOL going for both Christian Peterson and that 55 car, so they will both roll from the rear on this next restart. Meanwhile, the 78 of JJ McRae is going to get his lap back. He will be back in 24th on the lead lap. So lights on the pace car are already out up at the front of the field. You saw the move there. It was Riley Duncan taking the lead away from Kyle Terzak in the 15. That 97 is on it. He's been aggressive in the early stages of this race, moving up from P7 to P1 in the first 20 laps, and he'll try to hold the lead here on this restart. Pace car is in. It's Duncan and Terzak. We jump. We're green. Great jump for Duncan. Still door-to-door here, working off turn 2 in this battle for position. A little bit of blinking there for Tanner Bethea on the inside, and the 20 might be something to watch as he tries to send it in next to the 15 of Terzak. And now we've got a move underway for third. Alex McCollum is to the door of Tanner Bethea, and there's contact between the two cars. You'll see him roll it into 3 there. Battle undecided, but the 1 has the advantage.
I think Bethea just kind of backed out of that, saw the contact, didn't want any part of it. Again, this goes back to different mentality. 250 laps, live to fight another day. We're not even, a quarter of the way through this race. Why push the issue?
Yeah, you don't want to push too early and maybe risk some damage that could take you out of contention later. Right now, Terzak is pushing a little more, trying to keep himself close to that 97 car of Riley Duncan, who's currently leading the race. Tire fall off, not too bad. In fact, it looks like most of the drivers in the field are only now running their fastest laps of the session. Yeah, you saw it back there, car way up the racetrack back there in the field. That is the 94 of Hudson Barrett, going back from 12th to 17th at a loose moment off the corner for Aiden Greats behind him. You'll see it here, gets wide, gets up in the marbles, goes backwards.
There's a 33 with a loose moment just after that. To go back to the live, it's the 97 who's found clean air and is starting to check out from this field. The 97 and the 15 seem to be the class of it, and I gotta wonder, is Riley Duncan that much faster on this long run pace, or is Kyle Terzak maybe, okay, I'm gonna back this car up a little bit and I'll have something for you at lap 50?
That's going to be the question here. We'll see as this green flag run develops what ultimately ends up being the best strategy. Going to cut a little further back in the field here. You've got some side-by-side battles like right there, near contact for the 94 of Hudson Barrett. I guess a little bit of contact near wreck there for the 94 of Hudson Barrett as he works now on the inside of Dustin Smith, or Tanner Burgee, excuse me. That's Dustin Smith up in front, and this battle is far from decided. Looks like Barrett will get through for now, and Silvio will follow him through. Yeah, big moment further up the track there for the 15 car of Deegan Smith. Again, everybody keeps it steady, but we're going to go 3 wide with that 71 of Jake Sylvia back there. That was a close call.
Well, you said 15, I found 15, and then I jumped up to Kyle Terzak. So I know some of these drivers running the custom paint schemes, and so I'll have to find Deegan Smith here, the 0-15 on my timing and scoring. That's where I got confused. But I want to back up and look at that contact because it was a handful. I don't know how he saved it into 1. Oh,
yeah,
ooh. Just missed it.
Big loose there on the drivertees.com replay. You'll see it again here. Little bit of contact, or maybe just got loose off the corner. We'll see on the replay what happened to that 15 car. Oh, definitely some contact there, yeah. And that is with the 1 car of Tanner Thomas rolling down into there, but both cars get it off safely.
Hey, we're back to 3 wide. It continues.
Yes, we are.
Deegan Smith.
Oh, big slam there for the 35 car of Tanner Burgee as he continues to do battle with Hudson Barrett. Those two not the happiest with each other. This battle has been raging for about 10 or so laps now, and neither driver wants to give an inch. Burgee has the advantage out of 4, but we're not done yet, and now more contact further back up the track is going to be the 15 of Deegan Smith off the nose of Aiden Greats.
It is utter chaos back here. Pass for position. It looks like the 4 of Brendan Ellis, the 01 of Tanner Thomas. And a little connection issue there for the 4, blinking in and out.
Don't have that. We've seen that affect a couple cars today, like Jace Hale, who did not make the main event because of that. And we're door to door once again here with the 94 and the 35. They cannot get away from each other. The battle continues to rage just inside of the top 15. This is for 13th at the moment. A little bit of contact there from the bumper of Tanner Burgee behind. And it looks like for now the 94 should pretty decisively have that spot, as we'll go side by side back for this is 18th as well. You've got Aiden Greats there in the 27, Shane Hodges in the 10.
I'm watching these cars start to fade out. That's where we were talking about at the beginning of this session. You got to conserve your stuff. And with a lot of these drivers through the Summer Series and the Misfit Tour Series, it's shorter racing all the way through. And so with this big event like this, I like to think that we're going to see the drivers that typically, we have a big wreck through 3 and 4.
That is a big one. Deegan Smith, Shane Hodges, Keith Jeffrey, JJ McCrae, Winston Deal, Brandon Elvis, Ethan Wolf. Just some of the cars involved in that accident.
I was saying the cars starting to fade here, Sky, and that right there, cars pushed up the racetrack in a big crash.
Yeah, parking lot. That started actually with the 86 car of Justin Crow farther up the road. It's contact with the 112 of Ethan Wolf, and this checks everybody up. The one of Thomas gets involved, and it is pandemonium from there. Parking lot in turn 4. And Deegan Smith has already left the session. He is done for the night.
Can't say I blame him. He had a hard impact with the outside wall.
Yeah, we'll see it here once again on the drivertees.com replay for that 15 car. Deegan Smith, this was race-ending contact for him. Oh, yeah. Big hit with that 10 car there. Sends him backwards. And he is going to be in trouble.
That hit the outside wall. I thought it was the 15 there on that replay, but it was actually the 4. And the 4 is just trying to... Wow.
Yeah, he's going to go a lap down here. That car might be done as well, because that is a major, major hit for Brandon Elvis. So we're going to have quite a few cars on pit road here to get some damage fixed. Palmer Hogg is going to come down in the 55. Back from there, it is Dustin Smith, Justin Crow, John Leday, Brandon Elvis, and then as mentioned, Deegan Smith has retired from the race. Here tonight, he will be your first official DNF of tonight's show. We are going to go back green this time here on the front row. It's the same 2 cars as the last restart in the same positions. The 94 of Riley Duncan dominating in the early stages of this race will go from first. Kyle Terzak will jump from second. Green flag is out, and we're pretty even across the line.
Terzak showed him earlier that he could do it on the outside. Don't know if it's going to work out this time. 97, pretty stout there off the corner. These tires a little bit worn. So 54 laps. Was the 15 conserving enough? He is going to fight on the outside, but look out there for the 34, labeled as the 1. Alex McCollum also in this hunt for the lead.
3 cars under a blanket here for the lead of the Kinetic 250. Just over a fifth of the way through this thing. Terzak gets loose, scrapes the wall there on the top, and that gives the momentum to Alex McCollum. But now, McCollum looks low. Terzak looks even lower down there in the 3 and 4. And the 15 has the run up the inside, side by side for P2 as your leader continues to hold. Can Riley Duncan stay ahead of this battle?
Say that 34 has been impressive. A pinch down there on Terzak has been enough to hold him at bay, but you got to complete this pass or the 97 of Duncan is just going to run away with it. 125. We're going to have a competition caution, and then we're going to freeze the field. Some other special events coming on here as we progress through the Kinetic 250.
We're still a long way from that, though. Got 65 laps of green flag racing left until we hit that competition yellow, so it is going to be all out until then. We'll see if drivers only use 1 tire set, or excuse me, 1 additional tire set, or use both of the ones they have back in the pits. Lap 125 is likely when we will see that decision really become apparent as McCollum continues to work on the top. Terzak not clear yet on the bottom. They've been door-to-door for about 5 laps since this restart. McCollum has the advantage high, but he's way up the track there. Terzak gets clear, crossover from the 1 into the back of the 15 car. We're side by side still with the positions switched. Now it's McCollum working the bottom.
Contact again out of turn 4. They're using each other's doors. Terzak's not happy, and the 1 moves up in front, cuts the nose, and here comes the 20 of Tanner Bethea.
Big opportunity there for that 20 car to get himself down to the inside and try to steal second place away from Alex McCollum. Tanner Bethea has worked his way through the field here to try to get to this battle. As it's not settled yet here, it looks like McCollum will get P2, but now you've got Terzak trying to get P3 away from Tanner Bethea. Will he be able to do it? They're still side by side into turn 1.
And Terzak, you know, one of the veterans at Misfit Racing, and probably not appreciating some of these guys that he's not familiar with, using them up like that. A lot of door checks, a lot of movement. I think Terzak's starting to learn his top 3, maybe not respecting his legacy is what he's put on.
Yeah, Tanner Bethea, I think, has raced against him a lot in the Misfit Touring Series especially. But, yeah, don't know how much he's raced against those top couple cars of McCollum and Duncan. And Terzak is going to get right back to the bumper here as he's clear of Bethea. And it's now all on the battle of that 34 car of Alex McCollum right there off the corner.
Side by side, back with Thronberg and Thomas. They're leaning on each other through 1 and 2 in a little bit of a staggered drift, if you will. Simultaneous and a door contact again through 3 and 4. These cars, it's 8 wheels through 3 and 4.
Thronberg doesn't want to give him any room off the corner. He wants to cut off the lane of that 1 car to get himself a better exit so he can try to get clear. That's the best way to make passes high, and it works well for Thronberg right there. Taking 6th away, his sights are now set on the 80 of Jacob Harberts running in 5th. I'll tell you what, we haven't...
Oh, I thought we were going to see it. Sorry.
No, you're good. We haven't seen these top 3 pull away as much as we did on the last run. If you remember, Duncan and Terzak got about 2 seconds clear last time around. This time, McCollum is there, Bethea is there, Harberts is there. The cars from about 3rd to 10th are not falling off as much as they were over the last run. Riley Duncan has some stiffer competition here.
Yeah, McCollum getting ahead of Terzak, that's another factor as well. Terzak maybe had been saving there in those first few stints, and with the cautions allowing him to conserve more, but McCollum getting around, and then pressure from the 20 of Bethea. I think Terzak just used up anything he was conserving, and the 97 out there in the clean air, it's tough to gauge, Sky, when you have no one in front of you if you're overdriving it.
Yes, it is. McCollum is closing on lap 73 at a 250. Almost a third of the way through this race now as this battle rages for first. I do want to mention further back in the field, we had a disconnect. Jake Sylvia lost connection from the session. He's back out on track now. He got it reconnected. He rejoined, but he has gone 8 laps down, and that car is going to be out of contention for the win.
Yeah, it's going to take something special here. Maybe they'll let him get some of those laps back if we have enough cautions. But that's unfortunate when you have a connection issue like that. And it can be anything beyond your control. Computer failure, we kind of chalk it up to mechanical failures here on the iRacing service. Battle for the lead. Cullum going to the inside of Duncan in 3.
Door to door here, Alex McCollum started on pole, but he's only held that lead for about 9 laps tonight. Can he go back and steal some laps led here? He's battling with that 97 car of Riley Duncan down into 3 and 4. Duncan has the top. We've seen both lanes work. We know Duncan in particular is really good on that high line. And right now it looks like he's holding off the 1 car of McCollum pretty successfully. There's contact out of 2 as we work onto the back straightaway.
McCollum might have the advantage here out of 4. This has also allowed Terzak as the 97 of Duncan hits the wall. I was going to say Terzak's probably going to be to the inside, and that door opens up. It's still not clear, and contact pushes him into the wall. McCollum not cutting Duncan any breaks here, and he's going to get used up again maybe by the 15.
said it, that battle is still going up here in the top 3. Doring a little bit there for the 15. That sends the 97 of Riley Duncan up the racetrack, and that'll drop him back a couple positions to 3rd from the 1st that he has been for the last 60 laps or so. Not a very familiar position for Riley Duncan. He might have used those tires up too early.
Looking back deeper in this field, I mentioned there earlier that we had some onboard cameras with some of these drivers, so time to take a look. Winston Deal in the number 2, currently running in 18th position, but it's about 1 full second to catch up to Carter Levi.
Got that nice setup there, rocking the big curved monitor. We have one of those there at a venue I've been to, and it is very much good to race on because you can really see those cars up your inside. Helps a lot with the visibility, helps a lot with running the line that you want. You're seeing Winston Deal stay glued to that bottom there, back in 18th as he tries to recover from that early accident. Caution flies. It is Shane Hodges. He's near it. He's on the brakes for it. It's a bit of a parking lot down here on the front straightaway. Starts with the 1 car of Tanner Thomas. We are going to get a drivertees.com replay of what happened to the 1 of Tanner Thomas. This is working off turn 4, where this incident is going to occur. It involves contact from that 22 of Brian Gravel. See it here, just gets into the back of the 1 car, and it really stacks up a bunch of different drivers. Bit of air for that 10 car of Shane Hodges. And then you see J.J. McCrae stacked up on the bottom along with the 88 of Keith Jeffrey.
Nowhere to go. It happens so fast here, Sky. 1 second, you're on the throttle. The next, they're all in front of you.
Yeah, it can go so quick here. This is a very tight racetrack, tight confines. You don't have a lot of space to move. And we're going to see pretty widespread pit stops here, mostly from cars who were involved in that accident. Shane Hodges, Hudson Barrett, Keith Jeffrey, Dustin Smith, Tanner Thomas, J.J. McCrae, and Aiden Greats, along with Brandon Elvis, are all into the pit lane here. I think some of these cars are going to put tires on it. Some of them are just going to come in, get some fuel and some damage fixed.
So it's around half the field, I think, that's actually came down pit road here, Sky. We still have about 12th on up that is on 86 laps on this stint. But you got to wonder, is there somebody, like Justin Crow, who's kind of had a rocky start, your pick here tonight? Does this pit stop advance and help get him back into the top 5?
Well, Justin Crow, he's kind of having a problem here. He did not pit on that last caution. He actually pit about 34 laps ago. He was involved in that accident right around lap 50, had to come down, take some damage, get that car fixed up. So there's still a little bit of damage on that 86. He's doing his best to manage it, to get it worked out here. Hopefully with that competition caution, we'll see Crow back up front. It's an EOL penalty here for both Tanner Thomas and Brian Gravel. The 01 and the 22 will go to the rear, but back up front, new look front row, Alex McCollum, Kyle Turzak. We're green once again in the Kinetic 250.
Eight laps in here, Sky. It's past that quarter of the way mark that I was talking about. Turzak fighting on the outside. McCollum took the lead away, but now with the pinch, I think that they might have something for him in just a moment.
He's certainly trying. We know that 20 car has been fast in the early stages of this race. Right now, he's trying to get up there and battle with the 15 car and the 1 car. Pit stop, by the way, under that caution was a late stop for Riley Duncan. He came down a bit late, and he has gone a lap down in that 97 car, making the pit stop. So that's an early leader in trouble as the leaders stay door to door.
Duncan riding back here and 23rd now as we continue this side by side. It's been going on for, well, ever since we went green back on lap 88. They continue one after another. Bethay is probably salivating right now at the opportunity as they continue to use up their tires.
He's certainly getting a little closer. So is that 80 car back there of Jacob Harberts. Might see an opportunity for him here before too long, as these two have been battling. Terzak in particular, we've seen door-to-door with somebody for what feels like about 20 out of the last 30 laps. He's really been having to race hard in that 15 car, having to ride the top to try to get these positions, and that is certainly not helping the rubber on that 15 car. He led that lap, but barely. Momentum starting to swing back towards Alex McCollum in the 1.
This looks like the classic style misfit racing in both the summer and the Tour Series. You got the Hyper Summer Series. Terzak just firing off into the outside, holding off McCollum off every corner and leading laps while doing it.
Kyle Terzak, you said it, always a great driver here in the Misfit Racing League, especially in these late model stocks. He knows how to get around in these cars. He's shown it time and time again, and now trying to bring home $250 for the win of the Kinetic 250. There's a little bit of contact there that time down the front straightaway with the 1 of McCollum, and now Bethay is there in the 20. What does he have for this battle? I think whoever gets the advantage, Bethay's going to try to follow him through. That's the 1 of McCollum. Tries to get clear, barely does it. And that is just enough space for Terzak to get down behind. He'll look for a crossover.
There's the crossover, so now it's the flip-flop. The outside wasn't working anymore. Let's go to the inside and see what McCollum's got there.
Let's see, McCollum doing a pretty good job on that top. Roll reversal right now as Bethay continues to lurk in 3rd. You're seeing that 34 lead more laps up high. In contrast to before that switch when it looked like Terzak was leading most of the laps.
With the wall from the 34.
Yeah, it was a pretty decent run off the corner, but he did still get a little into the fence there. Will he be clear this time? Yes! New leader for good here is the 34 of Alex McCollum, and now you've got Bethay trying to sneak alongside Kyle Terzak.
And it's that pinch down, 15, not able to use the entire exit of this corner. I know he was a lot faster on the outside. We saw him lead lap after lap after lap, but now he's going to force his way to use the whole racetrack, and Bethay has to check up.
Harberts is starting to move up. Oh, the caution has come out. Palmer Hogg is pretty beat up. This wreck, well, it's actually 2 simultaneous wrecks, it looks like. You've got Palmer Hogg wrecked, and then you've also got the wreck back here with Aiden Grates.
And the 27's going to end up losing a lap and a fender to the inside wall, trying to get out of the way.
Yeah, we are going to have to take a driverandtees.com replay here on both of these accidents. We'll look first at what happened to Aiden Grates and the 22 car up here of Brian Gravel as they work their way around the racetrack. Oh, it's a checkup. So the 22 of Gravel checked up. He saw Hogg get loose up in front of him. The 27 did not, and Aiden Grates went straight into the back. This is what happened to that 55 car of Palmer Hogg. He's just loose off the corner, gets himself turned around. Pretty decent contact there with the 94 of Hudson Barrett.
Well, look who was in the mix of all of this as well, Sky.
It's the 97 car of Riley Duncan. 1 lap down. Can't afford to be having moments like that. Take a replay back here. Did he get through clean? I think he did, and he will, it looks like, get his lap back here on the Lucky Dog.
And it's a close one. You get that free lucky pass position. That's a blessing, but when you get contact here on iRacing, if he would have touched anything or even just lost control of the car, he would not have been eligible for that. So for it to happen right there, he's at ground zero and still get that free pass. Lucky, lucky.
Got some more pit stops for cars fixing damage. Keith Jeffrey, Dustin Smith, John Lede, Palmer Hogg, and Hudson Barrett are all in for that. Palmer Hogg and Dustin Smith will be the EOLs here on this restart. Lights on the pace car are back off here. We'll go back racing on lap 107. Gonna be 18 to go here until we hit that stage break on lap 125, the midway intermission. And trying to lead them to that lap 125 will be McCollum in the 1 and Terzak in the 15. Green flag is out. That's a pretty good jump for Alex McCollum.
So now that we're approaching the halfway mark in this race, Sky, I think it's a perfect opportunity as we watch this battle for the lead continue to look at how far some of these drivers have gained or lost in this event. Big movers here with Calabro and Deal, but then there's some big losses with the 94, the 015, who of course is out of the session. Then you have Jake Sylvia, who's lost 8 laps on the field. Just so much going on as we watch another push up the racetrack.
Terzak wants that lead bad. He's used to winning here, and he's going to put the 1 up almost into the wall. A lot of spots going to be lost for Alex McCollum after contact with Kyle Terzak. He's going to go all the way back to P6, and he's going to have a lot of work to do to get back up to where he's been running all race. You'll see it on the drivertees.com replay here. 15 just pushes that one car a little up the track, and backwards he goes.
It's just so subtle there. I don't know that it was so much intentional by Terzak to move him that much. But yeah, it was enough that it pushed him out of line and got 4 or 5 cars to the inside. And at that point, you're just you're waiting on the train to come to the station.
He'll immediately try to jump back on the attack. Looking up the inside of Christian Peterson here in that 71 car. That is a car who started out back in 10th, has managed to wheel it up to P5 slowly but surely tonight to try and get himself a good finish here in that 71 car as we continue to do battle. I believe Christian Peterson was also involved in a very early accident. I think he got the first EOL of the race, so he's driven it really all the way back from last to be in this battle for 5th. Great recovery from him.
So hopefully everything's working on your end, Sky. I know that I lost telemetry on my main screen. I still have it on my monitor and everything like that. So if I miss a name, if I miss the interval or maybe the positions gained, I apologize. It's just information on the demand. I'm kind of a creature of habit, so I've gotten really used to and spoiled maybe by being able to see that all the time as we watch this battle with Terzak and Bethay. Approaching halfway, about 10 to go to that competition caution.
Yep, lap 125 will be that halfway break, and I think that's when we'll see drivers come for tires. Dive for Bethay. Down on the inside of Terzak. Does he have enough momentum to take it side by side off the corner? No. Terzak clears him back as we head into 1 on lap 117. This battle is tight. Don't count out Jacob Harberts. Don't count out Blake Thronberg. They've been steadily working back in 3rd and 4th all race, and they might have something for these 2 leaders.
They really sent it into turn 1 that time. It's hard to look away from this lead as we have a little loose moment there as Thronberg, and McCollum's going to get back to 4th now. Don't count him out either. He's creeping back to this top 3.
Bethay is digging. He wants that spot to try to get this lead away from Kyle Terzak, but he hasn't been able to really bring it side by side off the corner yet. He's only doing it with lunges down in, and he's going to get into the side of Terzak. Wow. Sends that 15 up the racetrack. Kyle Terzak back 3 spots, and your new leader is Tanner Bethay as we head towards halfway.
I don't think Terzak's going to be very happy about that one.
I agree with that assessment. You can see it down into here. It was a big lunge. Code. Oh, and some net code there for the 15 as well. Pushes him up the road, pushes him back to 5th, and he's going to have to drive his way back up through the field.
Sky, I want you to tell Turzak that was netcode, because I guarantee you right now he's not thinking that was netcode.
Oh, no, he doesn't know that from the inside of his car. All he knows is that he's upset.
Yeah.
This has been good for Jacob Harberts there in that 80 car. Kind of just had some of these leaders get dropped back a few positions from in front of him, and it looks like he'll head into the break here in P2. 3 wide further back. It's the 2 car of Winston Deal there down on the inside, trying to get P6 away from Carter Levi high in that 28 car. Oh, big loose back there. That's Blake Thronberg going backwards in a hurry. And now Wolf is going to go around. Car in the wall is the 3. That is the caution, and that will be your stage break.
Yep, that will give us our competition caution. We were just within that 5-lap mark, and Tanner Bethea is going to be your leader here at that. Man, what a lot going on back there. We're going to have to find a replay, but first we're going to go down pit road. So much to unpack there in those final 5 or 6 laps.
Yeah, we are going to be taking some pit stops here. This is going to be a one-stop race for everybody here. For a lot of your leaders, this is the only pit stop they are planning on taking, and they will do it right here this time by. We'll see who comes out first. There are some cars staying out. We'll get to them in a second. For now, race off pit road. It looks like it's going to be McCollum beating everybody out in that 1 car. We will see where they come out from there. Back from McCollum, it's Sylvia, who's actually a lap down. That's Sylvia coming off there. And then it's Jacob Harberts. It's like John Leday. Maybe picked up a bunch of spots. Maybe a 2-tire call for him. Tanner Bethea, Christian Peterson as well. We have 4 cars who have stayed out. Brian Gravel has not pit at all this race. He's on the same set of tires he started with. Tanner Burgee is out there as well. He looks like he put 2 tires on it about 20 laps ago, so he is still out on the racetrack. Just want to verify that he did in fact put 2 on it. He only spent about 15 seconds in the pits, so I would have to imagine he either did that or no tires. Riley Duncan, who came down and put tires on it 40 laps ago, he's still out there running a bit of an undercut strategy. And then Keith Jeffrey also, I believe, took 2, came in 22 laps ago. So those will be your drivers here. And I believe we are going to do a moment of silence here in just a second once these drivers get worked back around to the front straightaway. We will see. Pace car will pull in. And yeah, we are going to slow roll it down here. I believe we're going to come to a stop on the front straightaway for our halfway in the Kinetic 250 moment of silence. And the field will get back rolling now, this time out of 1 and 2. I think we'll be going back green this time.
Moment of silence there for the veterans and those that have fallen. A lot of support there. I know that we had kind of planned there for the national anthem at the start of this event. Had some technical issues trying to get guys up here into the pre-race. And Sky, I know a lot of these drivers are in direct relation. Oh, we have contact. I don't think they're going green just yet. 35 of Tanner Burgee just got, I think, Keith Jeffrey there.
Yeah, that is... I assume that is a communication issue there, where the 88 of Keith Jeffrey thought we were going green, and the 35 of Tanner Burgee thought otherwise on that restart. Hope neither car took too much damage from that contact. We will go back green this time, I believe, on lap 130. And it'll be staying out on old tires on your front row. Tanner Burgee and Riley Duncan. Keith Jeffrey will go from third. Alex McCollum from fourth. Green flag back out here in the Kinetic 250. What a jump there for Burgee. He's way clear up at the front of the field. The battle now is on for second. It's Riley Duncan and Keith Jeffrey working for that third place position. Back from there, you've got Alex McCollum. First car on new tires. I think he took 2 on that 34 car. Brian Gravel, still on the rubber he started with, is going from P5. You see him down on the inside there behind these two cars. Battle far from decided here for Jeffrey and Duncan in the 88 and the 97 respectively. Keith Jeffrey has the advantage. Can he get clear off this time? No, the 97 holds tight on the outside and will still roll it side by side into 1 and 2. The 88 closer and closer to getting clear every time around, but he hasn't been able to do it yet, and this battle is still rolling.
They're looking at 3 wide there with the 22, and this flip here for the top 5, it's completely changed. I know that this top 5 is definitely hungry. The 97 of Duncan, who got shuffled a lap down. How about the recovery up to third?
Yeah, Riley Duncan was a lap down after that pit stop. Got his lap back on the Lucky Dog and is now working to try and hold this position on older tires than the rest of the field. Might be running a 2-stop strategy in comparison to the 1-stop that a lot of guys are going to be on. In fact, I would think most of the cars up here in this top 4 are likely on that 2-stop strategy in comparison to Alex McCollum, Jacob Harberts, Blake Thronberg, who are back there running a 1-stopper. Those cars all came down for right side tires, or I believe maybe left side tires only. 2 tires only, irregardless. Kyle Terzak, I think he had to fix a little damage, had a slow pit stop, came out back in 12th. He is going to be one to watch here. See if he can get back up here to contend for the lead that he was really going for a lot of this race. You're watching that one car right there of McCollum, first car on 4 fresh tires. Hasn't really been able to close back up to those drivers running on old rubber. Brian Gravel is on 140 lap old tires. He hasn't come into the pits at all. At a certain point, he will need to make a stop for fuel, but that point has not come yet. And that 22 car continues to roll down there on the bottom, making good speed on worn tires. Track temp sits right about 90 degrees right now. It's gone up 7 since the start of the race, so that is something to watch. The track temp continues to go up as we get later and later into the night. Might see some more tire wear, some more cars getting loose. And now the battle is on for 4th. Won't be much of a battle. It'll be quick work for Alex McCollum, clearing the 22 of Brian Gravel. And now Jacob Harberts in the 80 is going to look to do the same thing a little further back in the field. As he tries to clear that 22, he'll get it done. Watching a little bit of chaos further back. Justin Crowe working the high side, trying to move up back through the field. He's running in 10th.
The Bouquet, who was leading at the halfway mark. Remember the contact with Terzak. 15, slowly creeping up to this car.
These gaps are starting to close. If you look back up at the front of the field, Alex McCollum has gotten the move done for 3rd now on Keith Jeffrey in the 88. That one car continues to work his way further and further up through the field here. sights now set on Riley Duncan and Tanner Burgee. Alex McCollum making the best of those new tires to get himself further up the field. And as we come around in 5 laps, that'll be 100 to go. The pressure will be on. Will Alex McCollum, your pole sitter tonight, started first, running the 1 car. Can he finish first as well?
It is so surreal to me how Clean Air has been treating even a damaged car, the 35 of Burgee. Just completely able to run your own line and how much faster it is. But then you have Riley Duncan, who's led some laps. You've got the 3 of Thronberg on a recovery, who's been in the top 5 for a lot of the day. Terzak, the 20 Bethea.
Here comes McCollum.
Yeah.
He just got up to second there on Duncan as well. That car is moving. He'll be up for the lead before too long.
There's so many of these guys that have led this race for different portions, different tire wears, and I still haven't really picked anybody that I favor on the end result.
No, it's going to be a very close race coming down to the end. Right now, Alex McCollum seems to be the one to watch. He's the one who's really managed to work his way back up through the field here on these newer tires. Meanwhile, some of the other drivers who came down, Jacob Harberts is stuck back in 5th. Ethan Wolf still in 6th. Tanner Bethea still in 7th. Alex McCollum.
I'm ready for some fireworks here.
Alex McCollum is the one who's really made his way back up through the field. He's done a good job of it. You see here, Terzak is behind Tanner Bethea.
So I hope that somebody was on the box and reported this to Terzak that it was an accident, but I don't think he's going to get much room to Bethea either way.
I don't think he will either. He will try to get that move done pretty quickly. He wants to work his way back up through the field. Climbed from 12th not long after that restart up to P8 right now in this battle with Tanner Bethea, who currently sits 7th. And we'll see if he can get that spot. We got another DNF. Brandon Elvis has parked it. He's done for the night in the 4 car.
That's some of the drivers that had problems in that big wreck on the backstretch.
Yeah, he will be, I believe, our 3rd DNF tonight, joining Deegan Smith, Palmer Hogg, and now Brandon Elvis, as this battle goes on for 7th. Terzak tries to hunt Bethea, and now Riley Duncan has stayed pretty close here to Alex McCollum. McCollum, I thought he was going to get away. I thought he was going to really close in on that car of Tanner Burgee, especially with the damage that that 35 has. But no, McCollum not able to move up through the field with that dirty air, and Riley Duncan is right back to him.
Also have Keith Jeffrey, who we didn't really mention the 88's name too much here tonight. I know deeper in this field, we've been kind of watching a lot of this top 10. The front battle has kind of subsided for right now, but there's still a lot going on back here. Thronberg, who hemorrhaged a ton of positions just before that halfway mark, ended up picking up some damage. And this 3 car, who started up in the top 10, has fallen back to 12th. And I believe a 3 at the highest position was up to 4th.
Yeah, he was running up in that top 5 for quite a good bit of the first part of this race. It's going to need to be a recovery drive from that 3 of Blake Thronberg if he wants to get back up, not just to where he started in 8th, but to where he was running in that top 5.
Winston Deal just behind that in 13th position. Still a solid day for Beal, 10 positions gained, but I think was up a little bit higher the last time we talked about him. But it actually, I think, was back in maybe 17th or 16th spot and was way out from even catching up, but we had that caution that put him in a better situation. I know a lot of these guys out here right now are scratching their heads like, well, we did well in the first 50 laps, but this racetrack is not driving the same. And, you know, you're on a different stint of tires, 20, 30 lap different here for Tanner Burgee, but Clean Air pulling away.
And the track temp has only continued to go up. It was 83 at the start of the race. I mentioned a few laps ago it was about 89. It's gone all the way up to 93 now, so that track temp is pretty rapidly increasing, and that is going to be something to watch as we continue to head through this race tonight. Because that, I mean, at least right now, it's looking like it'll only get higher for these drivers.
one of the stipulations coming into this event was the iRating base cap had to be 2,500 to keep it competitive here tonight. It was kind of established there that you get a few chances to be crazy and be fun, but that was in the heat racing. Now it's survival of the fittest, and it's going to take all of your talents, all of your skill. It's been very competitive. 12 lead changes and only 6 cautions and 163 laps in a short track. That's pretty good.
Yeah, the Kinetic 250 has been a ton of fun, and right now, Tanner Burgee continues to hold that lead in the 35 car as he tries to bring himself home. $250 is the winner of this race tonight. Second place, Alex McCollum, if it were to end right now, would take home 100. And you've got Riley Duncan back there in third, who would take home 50. So some pretty good prize money up for grabs here tonight. That's going to encourage these drivers to race really hard, especially up here on the podium. One spot can be the difference between $150.
And Sky going through the statistics. This is the highest iRating in this field right now, 77.60. Alex McCollum, technically by iRacing, favored to win this event. And he also has that 76.44 lurking just back there with Jacob Roberts and Harvitz in the number 80.
Yeah, we've got some great drivers in the field, drivers who we don't see as much in the Misfit Racing League, especially when it comes to our Hyper Summer Series or our Touring Series that we ran through the fall and last winter. But we've got some great drivers who have showed up to run tonight's race here at Five Flags, and you've seen a couple of them in the field make great time, like Jacob Harbert, like Alex McCollum, and those drivers will look to be there when it matters the most. I don't think they're pushing the hardest right now, but give them about 50 laps or so, and they'll be pedal to the metal trying to wheel this thing to the front of the field. Got a lap car up here. That is, I believe, Jake Sylvia going one lap down. Yes, it is.
It got me again.
Yep. We got two 71s. We've got the 71 of Christian Peterson. We've got the 171 of Jake Sylvia, and that is the one who has just gone 11 laps down. That is going to work as a bit of a pick, though, for Tanner Burgee. That car in between them is just going to really dirty up that air for McCollum and Duncan behind, and will give him a little more space up at the front of the field.
Cronenberg's still struggling. Right front damage, hindering this car from staying on the bottom of the racetrack, and it seems like every single time he goes into the corner, tries to take it to the bottom, the car bottoms out, pushes up the racetrack, and he's just continuing to hemorrhage positions. It's unfortunate here for Cronenberg. Had a solid car, and you know, I hate to pray for cautions, but I would like to see this car get repaired to get back to the top 10.
Yeah, but the issue at a short track like this is it can be so hard to get that damage fixed because you just don't have the time to do it. We've got pit stops underway for some of your cars who stayed out. It appears that Gravel has run out of gas. I think that's why Brian Gravel has made the move down now, and you're going to see the 94 car of Hudson Barrett come with him, and at least one of those cars is going to tow. Not sure what the issue is there for Brian Gravel, but he has left the session, and that will be the end of the race for that 22 car.
Maybe a mechanical issue. I know some of these guys have been just struggling out here, and no, for me, if it's just for money, if it's just for prizes, and you find yourself maybe a couple laps down, it's hard to stay focused and say, hey, I gotta stay out here. You know, I paid my entry. I'm out here mainly to have fun. I don't know about you, Sky, but sometimes I get infuriated that, you know, I came out here to have a good time, and within, 10, 15 laps, I'm already damaged, and now I'm 10 laps down. Why would I keep going?
Yeah, Brian Gravel's just going to bring it to an end here about 75 laps early, and he will be, I believe, our 4th DNF, and Hudson Barrett has also disconnected now, so that will be our 5th DNF of tonight's race. Battle still goes. This is for 3rd. Riley Duncan under threat from Jacob Harbert, who has decided the time is now. He's going to try to fight his way through to the front, taking on Duncan for P3.
Very close off of turn 2. Able to keep the nose in there. Been rather difficult as this racetrack has changed to stay down there and still get the run, but the 80 of Harberts is still on the move. Gonna get around Duncan. Third position by a nose that time by.
Great battle back here, both for that spot and for fifth, as now it's Ethan Wolf climbing his way up through the field. He's gotten that car to fifth, and now it's Kyle Turzak trying to work his way around the 88 of Keith Jeffrey to get sixth. So some of these cars you saw up at the field, up at the front of the field in the early portions of this race, are finding their way back up when it matters the most.
Oh, a little moment there. I think the 97 of Duncan sent it too far into the corner. I don't think he had help from the 112, but I could be wrong on that. Now the 88 of Jeffrey to the inside. I think Duncan's starting to struggle on this outside.
A couple cars are starting to struggle, especially the ones who stayed out for a lot of this race. Like Duncan, he is on older tires, and while they worked for a while, they are starting to fail him now, as he and Keith Jeffrey, both out on older rubber, are falling back through the field quite quickly. Next car to get him will be Turzak, and he'll try to go 3 wide down here. Has to back out, doesn't have enough space. He is not going to enjoy these two having a battle up in front of him when he's faster than both of them. You know Turzak wants to get around quickly. Back up front. Excuse me. Yeah, go ahead.
Around, you got to go fast. Still, the man of contact. He wants to get out of this situation. That is his main focus.
Oh!
He's creating it though.
Car around Bethea. Caution flies.
And that wasn't even the car. I think that Turzak was in contact with the 80.
Nope. That was a checkup incident right there. Bethea got on the brakes, and Justin Crow tapped him in the right rear. We will get a drivertees.com replay there on what happened to Tanner Bethea. You see the incident is going to start up in front of him here with Kyle Turzak trying to move that 88 car of Keith Jeffrey out of the way. And there's some contact, and then you see the check up there behind Crow just tags the right rear of Bethea, sends that 20 car around, and he is going to go all the way back through the field.
Almost went a lap down. They want to just get the car turned around as that iRacing pace car hit the backstretch.
Pit stops for more cars than you would think here. Alex McCollum, Kyle Turzak, Jacob Harberts, all down. Tanner Burgee will join them. A lot of cars. In fact, basically everybody but looks like 3 cars stayed out there. Dylan Calabro, and 2 of those cars that stayed out are going to come down now. Winston Deal, Carter Levi pitting a lap late, so it is just Dylan Calabro staying out on the racetrack, and everybody else is coming down pit road to get some service. Looks like right side tires only there for a lot of those cars at the front of the field.
And 1 car staying out. It's Calabro and the number 14, 80, or 63 rather, on this stint. We've seen it done before, where these tires haven't worn off quite as much. And if you were deeper in this field earlier, you maybe were being a little bit more conservative with it. Calabro could very easily hold this lead.
Yeah, clean air is going to be an advantage, but I don't think it'll be that much of an advantage. Calabro maybe just taking a bit of a Hail Mary here. I don't believe he was in the top 10. If he finishes in the top 10, he'll probably consider it better than what would have happened otherwise. Green flag flies, and it's a pretty solid jump for Calabro on those old tires. But he's got the drivers who just pit. McCollum, Harberts, Burgee, and Turzak all right behind him. And we're going to go door to door for the lead. Here comes Alex McCollum.
McCollum on the outside, holding it up there. Big run out of 4. I think the 14, like you said, just throwing a Hail Mary, but doing a fantastic job on the entry of the corner. It's the exit where he's losing the ground. There's plenty of room to that right-hand side for that 14 to maybe scoot up a little bit, but you don't want to make contact with these guys. You end up going out of the top 10 very quickly.
McCollum is clear. Jacob Harberts is going to get clear out of 2. The 14 of Calibro just does not have it rolling on those old tires. And Terzak will try to get around him for P3 as well before those two up front can get far away. We'll go 3 wide here. Here comes Ethan Wolf. He's going to make some room for himself down on the inside, trying to get around this 14 car, and that'll send Terzak way up the racetrack, working way higher than he ever wanted, and there's going to be contact between him and Calibro. Bad news for Terzak. He is lost at sea, and he's going to go all the way back to P6.
Terzak was trying to get clear of the 14 with 3 different cars on the inside of both of them. I don't think he was ever not 3 wide with the 14, and they made contact. Oh, I thought Terzak was going to go around. I don't know how he held on to him.
Yeah, I thought he was going to get around that car pretty easily there. Oh, contact! 35, the Tanner Burgee is loose and around. Big hit back there for Keith Jeffrey. And we got a flip. That is the 2-car of Winston Neal, who has perched it like a bird on the fence. Wow.
I mean, I've never seen that before.
That is a new one, and he is going to have to tow, and his chances of winning tonight are over. That was a major hit for that 88 car of Keith Jeffrey. That thing is decimated, and you see more contact. Calibro involved, Dustin Smith. Major hits for them as well. You see the 1 car back there of Tanner Thomas held up in it. A couple cars taking some major damage. And the other 2 just stuck.
Well, and this starts up there. Terzak got into the 35 and caused that checkup. I think the 88 was diving to the inside to avoid it. Watch it one more time.
Yeah,
this
the
all
88
happens like chain reaction.
Yeah, the 88 tried to get to the inside and got hit from behind by Calibro and just went straight into that angled inside wall, which is such a nasty place to hit here. Bounces back into a few other cars as well. And that'll likely be the end of the night for Keith Jeffrey. That car is destroyed. That thing is totaled.
We've got cars that get parked on the wall. We've got cars that were inside the top 5, top 3 even. Several laps down. Done for the day for John Leday, Jake Sylvia. Keith Jeffrey probably totaled. Tanner Thomas. Of course, Winston Neal, we saw on the wall.
Ooh, we've got a race control decision here that's making some people upset. Keith Jeffrey and Dylan Calibro have been given the EOL, not Terzak. So Terzak will roll off from 6th. Green flag is back out. McCollum gets a good jump.
Again, this goes to, race stewards getting strict and know that there wasn't really a caution there for the 35. That's a tough call with the 15 and the 35, but that was not the cause of that yellow.
Tell that to the drivers. They're pretty upset about that one. We're back rolling here either way, and caution is going to fly again. Carter Levi is backwards in turn 1. This is with the, well, it looks like it started maybe with Dustin Smith and ended with Blake Thronberg. Smith gets a little loose, and then Thronberg just gets into the side of that 28 car. Big hit to the wall for both of those drivers and Aiden Grates.
Now we'll watch on board here with Grates. Just a slam impact. Those 2 cars get stuck together, and he's just trying to avoid it. Already pinned up along that wall. Hold the throttle. He was going to wall ride to try to avoid that. I heard him just throttle up. Well, hey, you know what? We got to make up for the fact that we had over a 70-lap run earlier, right?
Yeah. Cautions breed cautions, and hopefully we can get a green flag finish to this race, but we have a lot of angry drivers right now, and a lot of drivers who might not be driving with the coolest heads out on the racetrack at the present moment, which is gonna maybe breed a couple more yellows here after everything that has transpired over the last few laps. Lights on the pace car will stay on, so we'll do one more time around here. And it'll be up front, McCollum and Harberts, 1 and 2. I don't think Harberts has led a lap yet. He's been pretty consistently sitting from about 2nd to 5th for almost this entire race, but he hasn't found his way up to that lead position. He'll look to do that here pretty shortly. And then back from there, you've got Ethan Wolf in the 1-1-2 going from 3rd. Riley Duncan, pretty good call there to take tires. He'll come out in 4th, and he will now be on the same strategy as everybody else as it cycled back around. Christian Peterson will roll from 5th. Kyle Terzak will roll from P6. And we've got 2 EOL penalties given out here. Carter Levi in the 28 will take one, and Blake Thronberg in the 3 will also get an EOL. Thronberg is still in the pits getting some damage repaired, so he will not take this restart here. Levi will drop from 13th to 14th as a result of that. Pace car is now off, and we'll get ready to roll this time through 4. Same front row. McCollum, Harberts, green flag, they're off.
So 2 of the best iRatings in this session are going to duke it out for these final 45 or so laps. Harberts to the outside there. Ethan Wolf in the 97 of Duncan. Top 5 starting to get rowdy from 3rd on back.
And they're going to stay rowdy for the rest of this race because time is running out and $250 are on the line, and everybody knows it. They want a share of that money. $250 for about 5 hours of work. Pretty good payday if they're able to pull it off and get the victory here tonight. Peterson works up the inside of that 97 car, O'Reilly Duncan. He'll take that 4th spot away. Terzak tries to push his way on through. Near contact with that 97 car as he tries to work the bottom.
Terzak's on a mission to get back to this top 3. Inside of the 97 of Duncan, maybe a little tail whip there from the 15. He clears up the 20 of Bethay, rather. Moves up another position. I think the 20 car's on that same mission to get back to the front.
Tanner Bethay, another driver with a lot of speed, another driver who knows how to win races in these late model stocks. Has brought home 5 laps led. He'll look to make it at least 6 here coming down to the end of this race, but he'll have 5 cars that he needs to get through first. We're at 40 to go. Your leader is still Alex McCollum, but Jacob Harberts is not letting him go.
0.2 of a second. Last time by identical lap times practically. It was only 0.02 of a second that separate them. And then this time by almost identical again. Look here at the last lap time. I mean, it doesn't get much closer than that.
No, remarkably consistent times here throughout the top 10 especially. And they're going down a little bit because the track temp has gone down a little bit. It's back down at 88 degrees right now. So we're seeing a little bit of a cooler track that'll help these drivers save tires and will help them get a little more grip in them as we head down to the end of this thing. Good job for McCollum to hold this lead. 9 cautions, 14 lead changes. Harberts wants to make it 15 here. Side by side for 3rd. Christian Peterson is trying to steal the spot away from Ethan Wolf.
These two get to racing side by side. And Terzak's going to take advantage of it.
We'll see if, yeah, we'll see if he can get close enough and get himself up there to make that move. 35 to go right now, and Peterson looks to have that spot. He's clear of the 1-1-2 of Ethan Wolf, but he is going to swerve right back down in front of the nose of Kyle Terzak to try to hold that spot. Terzak's not out of the woods yet because Bethay was almost into the bumper of that 15 car that time into 1 and 2. Tight racing all the way through your top 7 cars. No one is going to give an inch as we head down to the end of this thing. Here comes Bethay. He'll go side by side for P6 with Kyle Terzak, and Terzak is around. Net code off of Bethay again. Caution!
There it is. Finally, I thought they maybe an admin caution there. iRacing was not giving him a yellow.
That was some of the most disgusting netcode I have ever seen in my life, to be entirely honest with you. Just from my view of what happened here with Terzak and Bethea. This was the corner before. We're going to roll off into 3. Look at that.
Yeah.
Look at that.
I think there's something going on between the 15 and the 20s internet connections. It seems like anytime those two cars get side by side, iRacing kind of showing those gremlins. And I don't think Kyle Terzak cares. He just says, get away from me, please.
Yeah, he doesn't want that to happen a third time now with some gross netcode between those two cars. Just kind of blinked out of the session. And I guess while he was doing that, got into the side of Terzak, and that's going to be some pretty serious damage to the nose of that 15 car from when he crashed it back down into the inside wall. He'll go back to 11th. Pending an EOL, he might go back even further, and that could end his chances of winning the Kinetic 250 here tonight.
Well, we have an opportunity here, Sky, to maybe help plug the sponsor of tonight's stream and this broadcast, of course, RaceMRL.com, Misfit Productions, but the most important, Kinetic and the Kinetic 250. We're going to take a quick commercial break here on V-Speed. Go side by side, and we'll have those final 25 laps right after this.
Ever go about your day and suddenly you hit that crash? There's no need to feel stretched so thin, fatigued, or struggling just to get through the day. Now you've got Kinetic. 0 sugar, 0 caffeine, ketone kick, and the pep you need.
Buckle up, buttercups, because our bottom line is bursting with brilliance. Profits are positively pulverizing projects. Yeah!
Your brain is about 2% of your body weight, but it demands 20% of your energy. Caffeine blocks sleep receptors in your brain, but it doesn't fuel you. So when it wears off, you crash. Kinetic doesn't trick your brain, it fuels your brain with ketones, the powerhouse of metabolic energy. Recent studies show that your brain prefers ketones over glucose.
Watch this real scan as brain activity increases by 18% after drinking Kinetic.
Ketones, don't those taste like shit?
Kinetic is science forward and flavor first by using natural flavors to fit into your flavorful life.
You just said flavors a lot.
Yeah, because there's a lot of flavor with pineapple passion fruit, blackberry lemonade, and strawberry peach.
Wow, blackberry lemonade. That's some good
Tastes good and good for you. You can get your ketones from the keto diet, but that takes time and isn't for everyone.
Is it hot in here or is it just meat?
Kinetic has all the ketones of the keto diet.
We're back here. We're back here in the Kinetic 250, and the battle is on for the lead of the race. Alex McCollum holds it. Jacob Harberts is second, and then you've got Christian Peterson trying to fight his way back up through the field. He sits P3 at the moment, but if he can get clear of that 80 car, he'd be P2 with a window to pursue Alex McCollum as we head down to the end of this race. Riley Duncan back into the fight in P4. Will try to go 3 wide. Huge dive for Riley Duncan. Moves that 71 up the track. Jacob Harberts secures P2.
Was quite the sin there by Riley Duncan, and he got away with it. I think the talent on the outside kept that all together. If it would have been anybody else, I think they all three would have been crashed.
And by the way, EOL on that last caution for Terzak and Bethea, so they've gone to the rear of the field. Right now, it is still McCollum up front. Peterson will really look to get that spot back. He was working in third, just ended up going back to fourth after that big dive from Riley Duncan, and I don't think Peterson will be too happy about that one. He will look to get that third spot back in a hurry, and he needs to. Not just because there's only 20 to go at the line here, but also because that's $50 on the line for P3. If you get up to P2, it's 100.
Harberts is starting to lose a little bit of ground on McCollum. I think McCollum was maybe hypnotizing with the back end of that 34, and the 80 car maybe thought he had something for him, but now in these final 20 laps, McCollum putting up his fastest that he could put up in this race. He's only 2/10 off of his best
Caution.
lap. And that's going to shake it up again.
That it will. We're going to find out what that was for. Might have been Shane Hodges. It was Tanner Bethea in front of Shane Hodges. Did a full 360 and kept it driving. We'll see a drivertees.com replay here. That's him driving away as if it never happened. We will see maybe a little further back. You'll get that contact here coming off the corner. The 1-1-2 of Ethan Wolf just came down the track, checked up Bethea, and then Shane Hodges just got into the back of him for the caution with 19 to go.
Bethea just got that EOL penalty, as you had mentioned before. And now back down pit road, Bethea with a black flag, and I think it's a meatball this time.
It is. But then, no, he is showing a black flag. I'm not sure if he's showing a meatball flag. Did he get speeding on pit road?
Maybe.
Is that the issue for Tanner Bethea, or is it entering a closed pit? Let's find out here. It is speeding on pit road for Tanner Bethea.
And it's a hold.
Yep, that is going to be...
race ender.
Yeah, it's going to be about a 50-second hold. That will end his chances of winning tonight. We've got a couple more DNFs here. Aiden Greats has pulled out of the session, so has John Leday. Those cars are both many laps down. They have decided not to continue. Also, stuck in the pits now for 7+ minutes are Dustin Smith, Blake Thronberg, Keith Jeffrey, Winston Deal, and Palmer Hogg. So I do not believe those cars will get it back out either, and it looks like we will have, well, with Bethea potentially done as well, depending on the results of this penalty, a 14 cars out on track for our 15-lap run to the finish. Shane Hodges will be assessed the EOL for that caution. We'll get back going here in just a second. Similar front row. Yep.
I have a goal for these guys, Sky, and I think it's a realistic one. Let's keep the caution count below the lead changes here.
I think that's pretty easy to do. I don't see how we'd go over right now. But we got some leeway here as the pace car pulls into the pit lane. Alex McCollum, Jacob Harberts get the jump. Alex McCollum is going to have the better one, and he'll get the lead down into 1.
Harberts has been pinned on the outside on every one of these restarts. He's been contested and has not been able to get to McCollum at all. Harberts is probably getting a little bit irritated. It's been 3 different people on 3 different restarts, and he definitely has the speed, but he can't get anything going. And now you're watching the 34. He's pulling back out to that 0.3 of a second.
And that's huge for McCollum here, because if we stay green, he's got a great shot at it as Harberts and Duncan continue to duel behind him for P2. Peterson's up in this fight as well. He wants a share of the prize money tonight, and don't look now, Justin Crow not out of this race either. He's had to drive all the way back through the field multiple times. That car sitting in P5. Right now, though, the focus is on that battle for second. Riley Duncan has not let Harberts go, and that has opened up a 0.6 of a second lead for Alex McCollum.
I think stealing your pick ended up working out really well. I think that Justin Crow is going to have a shot at this one, but it's going to take a big mistake here. And if these guys continue to battle from second back to fourth, I don't know. I don't think he's going to be able to get around.
10 to go now for Alex McCollum in the 1 car. Started on pole. He's driving the 1. He's going to win the race here if he can get this thing done. It'd be a great night for him, leading just under 100 laps. Potentially led the most. He'll be up there with Terzak for sure by the time this night is done. Harberts continues to work the top, but no ground has been made. The stalemate is maintained between him and Duncan. And as Duncan slides up the road, watch Peterson back here. What does he have for these two?
I think Peterson's going to have to force it 3 wide. He's going to have to take a send that we saw from Duncan earlier. That's the only chance he has. These guys are going to stay side by side and work for these next 7 or 8 laps. I don't foresee anything but moving someone out of the way if you're third on back. Oh, there it is.
That's the move out of the way you need. The 80 car of Harberts is loose. saves it, no caution, but that thing is back to 7th, to 8th, to 9th, and he is out of contention to win the Kinetic 250 with only 6 laps to go. Does Duncan have anything for McCollum? It might take a caution here with a 1-second gap. Alex McCollum is going to be praying that this race stays green.
Time to go. I hate speaking things into an existence, but Riley Duncan had to send it on the inside. He had no more room left. He was going to pretty much drive on the apron there, and the 80 was not cutting him any slack. Now the 71 of Peterson has a little bit better of a scenario, but the win is out of the question unless we get a yellow.
Yeah, right now everything is looking good for Alex McCollum. Peterson, though, is going to try to attack for third. He'll look high on that 97 car, Riley Duncan. Can he cross him up low? Yes, he can. Door to door with 3 to go.
That was some close battle racing off of turn 4. 71 of Peterson showing that he knows how to drive these things. Sent to the inside in 3 and 4. 2 more times around for the Kinetic 250. And it's Alex McCollum with a 1.3 second lead. The battle's on for second.
They're dooring each other back there for P2. 100 for second, 50 for third. So it's money on the line here between Riley Duncan, Christian Peterson, and hey, look, it's Justin Crow. White flag for all of these cars in the Kinetic 250. And as Alex McCollum holds it strong up front, the battle is on for the money for second and third. Peterson's got the spot. Riley Duncan tries to move him. It's not enough. Alex McCollum comes around to win the Kinetic 250, and it's Christian Peterson second, Riley Duncan in third.
94 laps led, started from the top spot, and all is right in the iRacing universe. The highest iRating in this session finds his way to victory lane, and a little bit more money in the pocketbook.
94 laps led for Alex McCollum. Wasn't easy. Had to fight his way through some dirty air, some traffic, but he got up there and led when it mattered the most. And your pole sitter will get it done in the Kinetic 250. We'll let you hear him burn it down.
We have post-race interviews with our top 3. We have final race results. We've got a lot to unpack throughout this event, but I think it was a complete success. The Kinetic 250 at Five Flags Speedway was a phenomenal show with 3 heat races, an LCQ, and 250 laps. We've got more coverage to continue. Sky, I know there's some people we need to talk to across the board. We might even pull Kyle Adams up here in just a moment from MRL.
We will see. I would like to note, Kyle Adams has sent me this message in all caps, so you know it is important. Results are unofficial and pending review here post-race. We're going to send it down to a commercial break as we wait for our drivers to get up into the booth here tonight. When we come back, we'll have results and interviews with McCollum, Peterson, and Duncan. Stay tuned.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Ever go about your day and suddenly you hit that crash? There's no need to feel stretched so thin, fatigued, or struggling just to get through the day. Now you've got Kinetic. Zero sugar, zero caffeine, ketone kick in the pep you need.
Buckle up, buttercups, because our bottom line is bursting with brilliance. Profits are positively pulverizing projects. Yeah!
Your brain is about 2% of your body weight, but it demands 20% of your energy. Caffeine blocks sleep receptors in your brain, but it doesn't fuel you. So when it wears off, you crash. Kinetic doesn't trick your brain, it fuels your brain with ketones, the powerhouse of metabolic energy. Recent studies show that your brain prefers ketones over glucose.
Watch this real scan as brain activity increases by 18% after drinking Kinetic.
Ketones, don't those taste like shit?
Kinetic is science forward and flavor first by using natural flavors to fit into your flavorful life.
You just said flavors a lot.
Yeah, because there's a lot of flavor with pineapple passion fruit, blackberry lemonade, and strawberry peach.
Wow, blackberry lemonade. That's some good
Tastes good and good for you. You can get your ketones from the keto diet, but that takes time and isn't for everyone.
Is it hot in here or is it just meat?
Kinetic has all the ketones of the keto diet without the meat sweats. Kinetic isn't a temporary fix because ketones help you build metabolic energy for the long haul while reducing oxidative stress and inflammation. Kinetic creates momentum in your life, one sip at a time. Whether you're powering your pre-workout, fueling your focus, or creating mental clarity. Let Kinetic speak for itself. Users and the scientific community agree.
That's good.
It's more like a fruity flavor.
Delicious, refreshing.
I have finally found the solution for long-lasting energy and sharper focus.
And definitely has all the benefits of something I would want as a cyclist, road rider, mountain biker, as a mom.
I drink this on a daily basis.
Go to drinkkinetic.com and put your mind over what matters today.
We are back here at the Kinetic 250, and we're going to take a look at your finishing results for tonight's race. Your winner, Alex McCollum, in the 34 car, goes from pole to get it done here tonight. Christian Peterson from 10 to 2 brings it home second. Riley Duncan finishes in third. Fourth tonight, Justin Crow in the 86. Big run up through the field for both Carter Levi in the 28 and Tanner Thomas in the 01, getting to 5th and 6th. Seventh tonight, Kyle Terzak with Tanner Berge in 8th. 9th goes to JJ McCrae, and 10th to Shane Hodges.
Again, I'm going to speak in all caps. This is unofficial with these race results. But 11th position, the Calabro in the number 14. Then you have Wolf in 12th. This is a tough break there for Harbert. See, he was up in the top spot there, and it was a move out of the way from the back in 13th. Jake Sylvia, another one of those drivers that had a tough luck tonight, 14th position, but they led some laps. Goes back to 15th. But it's all right. I lost track there. 16th position, Dustin Smith in the 33 machine. Blake Thronberg with heavy damage on the right front. He's going to finish 17th. Aiden Crates, early exit there. I think 53 laps down. 18th position, Keith Jeffrey in 19th. And Winston Deal, I think, had to get a tow truck to get that car off the line.
Yeah, he had that thing upside down at one point. Not a great race for him in 20th. 21st, John Leday. 22nd, Brian Gravel. 23rd, Brandon Ovis. 24th, Hudson Barrett. 25th, Palmer Hogg. And 26th, Steven Smith. And I want to give a shout out to the cars who did not qualify for our main event here tonight, but still showed up to race. Justin Mulligan, Matt Borndrand, Donald Castillo, Dakota Walls, Tommy Lemley, Thomas Dean, and Jace Hale were all DNQs for tonight's main event. We're going to bring up to the booth now our race winner tonight. That is the 34 car of Alex McCollum. How are you doing?
Good. How are you?
Pretty good, pretty good. It wasn't easy for you. You had to work your way up to the lead a couple times to get it done, but you got the win. How's it feel?
Feels pretty good. I mean, this car was pretty good all night. I tried to ride a little bit in the beginning, push a little bit, ride a little bit, just save my stuff and be conservative. But I think that last half, it was just all go. And we had a pretty good long run there. I was just kind of riding behind. I think it was the 35 or Tanner. Was riding for a while, and then we get a yellow pit, and then just was talking to Jacob and Ethan. We're just like, well, might as well just go. There's only 50 to go.
You had the quick time in quali as well, started up on pole tonight. Did you have some extra confidence because you got that pole position that you could bring it home here?
A little bit. I knew we were bringing a really good car tonight. Me and Jacob worked pretty hard on the car last night, so we've been pretty stout lately working together. So I knew going into this race we'd be really fast.
All right. Anyone you have to thank tonight?
Yeah, I gotta thank everybody at CFM, Harberts, all the guys that helped us last night and get this thing tuned up. This thing was a rocket, and you guys for putting this event on. Kinetic, it was a pretty sick event to make my debut with it. It was a pretty well ran race. Appreciate those guys putting it on. You guys broadcast, and it was fun. Hopefully, you guys do it again next year.
All right, congrats on the win tonight, Alex McCollum.
Thank you.
We're going to throw it over now to Bradley Cooper. He is going to be standing by with our second place finisher, Christian Peterson.
Second place finisher, Christian Peterson. You got $100 now in your back pocket, but it wasn't for, it wasn't for loss here. You had a lot going on at the start of this race. You had fallen out of the top 10 right at the start. You had to race your way back up there. So much happened to you just to get this car back on the podium.
Yeah, it was a long race for sure. Fought through some stuff early, like you said, and here we are. It was good car. Just put ourselves in the right position, I felt like, and got what we could out of it.
So we want to go back. We briefly touched upon everything that happens over at Misfit and the HyperX Summer Series, and you've had success over there. I believe getting a win there at some point in the season. I'm sorry if I'm drawing a blank there. I'm trying to recap all of this statistics on the fly. But this car in particular tonight had to be driven differently than what we do over there. It's a short stint style race for the most part. You had heat racing here, but you were in that situation where you had qualified your way in on you just have to go 250 laps, right? That's a no-brainer, right? You have to drive the car differently.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, this thing's like the baby sister to the Super. You know what I mean? It's you got to treat it and kind of just go at it, And I don't know. Yeah, it's just you drive it so much harder than the Super, but the strategy kind of seemed like everybody was on the same one. We all pitted there early or whatever at halfway, and then everybody seemed to take two tires there with like 60 to go or whatnot. But yeah, I mean, you just got to drive it and survive. Everybody's going so hard at the beginning of a run, and you just got to be there at the end with these long races.
And finally, I have to ask you, how does it feel to be part of this first ever Kinetic 250 and be one of the veterans that carried over from Misfit?
Yeah, it feels good. Put it home in second. I feel like, a little bit of an underdog. I don't know, but we seem to show out tonight, so we'll take this one with pride and go on to the next Hyper Summer Series race.
You've got RaceMRL.com on the side of that machine, Trick Chassis. I'm sure there's others that come to mind. Go ahead and shout those folks out.
Yeah, just all the guys who put in work on the setup over at Skyline: Brandon, John, Elvis, Dan Yanks, Hudson, a couple other guys. Everybody else who's watching, all you guys who put on the show. Thanks, Kinetic, for coming on board to do this race. It was pretty fun. We got some good names out there. McCullum was I raced with McCullum back in the day, and it's a lot of fun when I get to race with him. So hats off to him for winning. Harbert's probably should have been up here. He was really good. I know it gets a little rough late, but yeah. So just thanks to everybody that came on out tonight, and yeah, thanks to you guys for broadcasting.
Yep, we'll see you. I believe it'll be about 10 days time there when we go back live racing for Hyper in the Summer Series.
Yes, sir. Can't wait.
Christian Peterson, second place, $100 richer, and shout out to him for coming back up to the top 3 at the end of this thing. We got one more to bring up into the broadcast booth. It's Riley Duncan in the number 97, and Sky Shrek has caught up with the driver of the Easy Clean machine.
Riley, how you doing?
Good. How you doing?
Pretty good, pretty good. You fell back outside the top 5 there late, but managed to push your way back up to a top 3. Tell me how you did that.
I think I made a mistake earlier in the night when I think I came in a little bit too early for 4, and then yeah, I felt it after I took right sides. They were freight training me on the outside, and I think once their tires got hot enough that we were kind of back to even, I was able to work my way back up, thankfully. But yeah, I mean, I'm happy.
Were you just pushing as hard as you could in the early stage of that race to get that lead and get those laps led?
I was, and I was. Like, I pushed hard when I was getting pressured, but once I got a little bit of a lead, like, I usually just kind of try to do my thing. Like, even if I'm pulling ahead of someone, I just do my thing and go consistent. That's how I've won other races, and I'm not going to change anything else. Works for me.
All right, then tell me about racing for second over the last few laps there. It was a tight battle with Peterson and Crow.
Oh, man, it was awesome. I would have liked to get the P2 out of it, but man, it was just awesome racing. And I apologize to Jacob. We were beating doors every single lap, and just some hard racing. I got into his quarter a little bit, but it's just the way it goes. Could have been me that got hit too, right? But yeah, this was one of the funnest races I think I've done, to be honest.
All right, anyone you have to thank tonight?
Yeah, of course. I got to thank my lady for letting me race tonight. These races take a long time, and she's just hanging out watching. And of course, Easy Clean. I got to thank Josh Cottle from Cottle Chassis for setting my car up. It was A1 right from the get-go. I think I could have even done a little bit better if I didn't pit so early. And yeah, Viper Graphics for doing my paint, and yeah, that's it.
All right, congrats on the P3 finish tonight, Riley Duncan.
Thank you.
And that'll be the end here of our coverage of the Kinetic 250. Bradley, any closing thoughts?
My first thought is I've made another mistake here in the race analysis. It was open setup tonight, and I apologize to Misfit. I think that was the biggest blemish of my night here. Outside of that, the racing was quality. The drives, the heats, this racetrack put on a great show. I know some guys were talking, I couldn't have thought of a worse place. No, this was a fantastic venue for this event. And these cars put on a great broadcast. Alex McCullum, Christian Peterson, and Riley Duncan, of course, the top 3. But do you go through the drivers that qualified their way in here and maybe based on merit had that position to start this race out? Nothing was given. we saw 14, 15 lead changes here tonight. So it was exciting, and I'm looking forward to maybe having this happen again for Kinetic and Misfit.
Yeah, this was a great show tonight, and I would like if we did this again sometime. I think everybody would, because you heard the drivers up here in the booth. It was a lot of fun tonight. For everybody at V-Speed and Kinetic and the Misfit Racing League, make sure to like and subscribe to V-Speed. We just passed 2,000 subscribers. Whoa, you can get us closer to 3K. We'd appreciate it. For myself and Bradley up in the booth as well, this has been the Kinetic 250. Have a good night.